Hey guys, welcome to another market review session with us tonight. And straight away, we're just going to go into some of the currency indexes together, or some of the currency indices rather together, and then we'll be looking at some of the currency pairs together. All right. So first off, this is the US dollar currency index, that's DXY. All right, and as we have been seeing, all right, for the last few weeks, we've been having DXY gaining strength. We've had it being bullish for the last few weeks. We've had a break and retest of this trend line around here. We've seen price break this high, all right, this previous high, we've seen price break this second high around here. Now, overall, my bias would still be bullish on DXY. However, during the course of this week, all right, let me just go down to the 4-hour time frame quickly to show us something. All right, so on the 4-hour time frame, we can see this old zone that I just marked out. So it's very likely we could just have probably a short sell to buy on DXY. All right, that'll be my bias for this week on DXY. Short sell to buy. So just a sell towards this zone. All right, and then we get to see our buy from there. All right, so I hope that is clear. Overall, we're expecting DXY to still be bullish. All right, but during the course of this week, probably for the first few days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, probably even into the early hours of Thursday, we might just get to see that sell-off happen on DXY, all right, before we do get to see some strength to continue, all right, on DXY. All right, straight up next, we are going into BXY, which is the Great British Pound Currency Index, and on GBP, all right, or sorry, on BXY, we've broken this previous low here, all right, this is one, we've broken the second low around here, and it looks currently like price is still bearish, all right, price is still bearish. For the meantime, on BX, I want us to look at a few things together, all right? This zone that you can see marked out here was actually marked out rather using our fib levels, all right? This was marked out using our fib levels, and we can see that currently we should still be expecting price to still keep going further down towards the downside, all right? So overall, I'm still expecting BXY to be bearish, all right? Overall, I'm still expecting BXY to be bearish. But during the early days of this week, we might just see a short buy to sell, all right, on BXY just to come up into this gap, all right, to fill up this gap here. And if we can look at it, well, you see that this gap is also aligning with the previous support, all right, on BXY. So it's very likely that support will have turned to a resistance, and then we just have that rejection from that side towards the downside. So it's either we have that buy to sell, or we just have that straight sell off on BXY. In any of those cases, our bias for BXY this week would still be bearish, So I hope that is clear. Next up, quickly, we'll be going into AXY, which is the Australian Dollar Currency Index, the Australian Dollar Currency Index. Sorry. All right, so as you can see here, I think as of last week, we're expecting that the AXY would actually still break above rather this previous highs around here, right? To come out there and take out liquidity from this equal highs here, and then probably buy up into this zone before we get to see our sell-off. However, we've not gotten to see that happen yet. Right? We have a fairly broad zone already marked out. I think this was marked out on the daily time frame. I'll be showing us that in a bit. All right, but this is a zone that we're expecting a good enough reaction from. So that being said, I think overall my bias for AXY would still be bearish, all right, still be bearish on AXY, all right, and I just want to watch out for us to have a break, all right, above this resistance around 65.22, all right, during the course of this week. So we might just have that break above, all right, that's resistance, all right. However, if we just get a straight away rejection, all right, from this side again, from the resistance rather again, they will just continue being bearish without necessarily need to rise, all right, or to come up into this zone, all right. So just to recap again, my overall bias for AXY will still for it to continue being bearish, all right, to still continue being bearish. All right, next up, let's look at CXY, which is the Canadian Dollar Currency Index quickly. Very good. So as of last week, we were expecting the Canadian dollar to sell, or we're expecting the sell off on CXY, and we got to see that happen quite well during the course of this week. All right, currently you can see that this is a trend line that has been respected about 3 times already. All right, and I think currently my bias, all right, for CXY will be for us to have an overall sell. All right, my overall bias will still be bearish, all right, but I might just want to see price just sell off a bit, then buy. All right, and this would be a very idealistic approach, all right, in the sense that we might get to see price come up again to give us that fourth touch of this trend line before we get to see price break and come into this zone that we have marked out here. All right, before we might probably get some more sufficient buys. All right. That being said, I think it's still very important for us to note that this is a gap here. All right, this is a gap here, and it's very likely that we might still get price being, so it's a very small one. We might still get price being, sorry, give me a minute. Or so something like this. So we might still get price, all right, just maybe getting rejected towards the upside straight away from this gap here. All right, so if we do not get something like that necessarily, then very much so we should just be expecting CXY to just break below this zone here, to break below this low, which is around 73.03, and then just continue towards the downside into the zone that we marked out earlier. The previous zone is 72.86, is between 72.86 and 72.42. All right, so it's one of those. All right, even though overall we're expecting CXY to be bearish, all right, we're just looking for points of interest where we can look out for tangible reactions to give us an idea of what we should be looking out on currency pairs. All right, so overall bias on CXY bearish. All right, however, we're expecting probably a buyer from this zone, or we just get to see price break below that zone, give us that fourth touch of this trend line, and then we continue towards the downside. All right, so if we do get price being respected at this zone, then we'll get to see that we will get to see that by going somewhere like this. All right, before we get to see that sell, so something like that. That is if we get to see that zone being respected. All right, however, if we don't get that, then yes, this looks more plausible. All right, so next up we have JPY basket. Now, for a while, we've been seeing that JPY basket has been ranging for a while. We've been ranging markets on JPY basket. And finally, during the course of this week, during the course of last week, rather, we're able to break below, all right, the 6834 line. And currently, we've had that break and retest. All right, so I think overall, my bias on JPY basket easily would still be bearish, all right, but I would want to see just a short buy to sell, all right, probably into this zone that I marked out here, all right, before we get to see that sell off continue. All right, so I hope that is clear for JPY basket. So quickly, let's just go into some currency indices together. Let's look first off at GBP USD. All right, so let me go up to the daily time frame. Let me go up to the daily time frame on GBP USD. I have some things that I would love for us to look at together. All right, so we've seen GBP USD has broken this low one. All right, seen another low that has been broken here. We've seen a third low. Excuse me. All right, that has been broken around here. All right, now for those of us who trade trend chart patterns, right? This is a classic head and shoulder pattern here. This is your left shoulder, all right, your head, all right, your right shoulder. Then you can see just that sell-off happening, all right, from there. Right, you can see that neckline was already broken. That being said, that was just just to show us that overall bias on GBP USD is still bearish. All right, I'll still be expecting GBP USD to continue bearish. However, during the course of this week, also let me just quickly say this before we move on. I think this was marked out with our fib. Let me just confirm that. Yes, this was marked out with our fib, and we've gotten to see that bullish rejection from there. However, that is just a retracement towards the upside. So let's go down to the 4 hours and look at what we feel would be more plausible or more feasible to happen during the course of the week. All right, so for GBP USD, we might just get to see a short buy, all right, to continue with the sell that we have been seeing on GBP USD. Just a very short buy. All right, I think as of last week, my plan was for us, my analysis, my bias rather, was for us to have a short buy into the zone, and then we get to see that sell off. However, we've not been able to get that happen. All right, if we do get price maybe during the course of the week, breaking below this, breaking above the support, which is around 1.23057, then very surely we might just get price getting into this zone, all right, which is between 1.24284 and 1.23698. Right, if we do not get that happening, however, then we should just be expecting a straightaway sell from this point. All right, so on GBP USD, my small, let me call that smaller, right? On a smaller scale, I'm just expecting a buy to sell on GBP USD, So if we get to see this is around let's say 1.22697, right? So if we get to see that I being taken out already, then it's very likely that we'll get to see price get into the zone that I talked about earlier, and then we'll get to see that sell-off from there. All right, but overall, my bias on GBP will be for a buy to sell. So I'll be looking out for that. All right, and let me just quickly mark this out because it looks tantalizing enough too. All right, so though it looks a bit too good to be true, but yeah, I just want to see something like this happen. So probably just short sell, buy into the zone. Then we get to see the sell off. If we get to see that this eye is taking out, all right, then very likely we may just get price coming into here, or we get that sell off. However, it is a buy to sell. All right, that is for. Sorry, excuse me. All right, so that is for GBP USD. That is for GBP USD. I'm looking at something quickly. Give me a minute, please. My eyes are catching something. I just want to make sure that it looks. I want to see how it looks. Or the back of my eyes are catching something, and I want to see how it looks. I'll see if I'm satisfied with what seems to be right. It's just something that like my peripheral vision, so to speak, is just looking at. All right, now I'm not really comfortable with that. But yeah, so I think overall this is what I'll be looking at for on GBP USD. All right, so straight up, without wasting time, let's go straight into GBP JPY. GBP JPY. Now you can see that GBP JPY has been bearish, all right, for the last couple of weeks. We've been seeing that sell continuously happen on GBP JPY. We've seen it break below a few lows, all right, and now we're looking at this, though we have not gotten a break out of this low. This is around 180.425. All right, our previous bias on GBP JPY was for us to get a sell to buy. All right, so we got that sell definitely. However, the buy didn't necessarily happen from the zone we were expecting. However, I was able to cite this during the course of this week, and we can see that that's where we saw that buy happen from. All right, so during the course of this week, during the course of last week, we've seen about 3 touches of this trend line, or 3 or 4 touches of this trend line. It is very likely for us to just have that sell off to continue from there. All right, so my overall bias, or my bias for this week on GBP JPY would be bearish. All right, I'd love to see probably just to get that price rejected, to continue its rejection from there towards the downside. So get that rejection from here, break below this zone, and then probably break also below this low. This low is around this support is around 180.425. All right, so we just get to see that, then yes, very surely we should be expecting price to drop into this zone. This zone is marked out between 179.960 and 179.075. All right, so we've done GBP USD, we've done GBP JPY. Quickly, let's look at USD CAD. All right, USD CAD. Now, our bias for USD CAD was for also have a sell to buy. Was it a sell to buy or buy to sell? Let me check. I think what we were expecting was, remember this was during the course of the week. So yeah, it was a buy to sell. All right, so buy. All right, yes, I remember. Yeah. So we're expecting a buy to sell to buy on USD CAD during the course of the week. However, we got to see. That was last weekend. We got to see a buy to sell. All right, then we saw that sell break below this trend line. All right, we got to see a break and retest of that trend line. Then price coming to react from this zone, which was, if you notice, this actually was a zone we could have gotten, or a person could have caught with the fib. All right, so you can see that I'm reacting from our fib level. All right, our preferred fib level. I got to see that reaction happen from there towards the upside. All right, so overall, I think we can still, or we should still be seeing USD CAD get a bit stronger. So we should just see probably more of a buy to sell on USD CAD. It feels like my voice is getting weaker as I speak, but yeah, don't mind me. All right, so that being said, again, I'm expecting the buy to sell on USD CAD. All right, this is the daily time frame, and this zone I just marked out was just identified using the fib. All right, was just identified using the fib. All right, so we can just probably watch out for reactions that would happen in that zone. All right, even though we can see that it looks like we're having that sort of a bearish move on USD CAD. All right, in the case of this being our high, low, all right, lower high, lower low, lower high, and then we're probably looking for the next move that's going to birth the lower low. All right, so that being said, I'm just going to be watching out for what would happen, all right, during the course of this week when we get into this zone. All right, so but overall my bias would be for us to get sells on USD CAD, but for the early days of this week we can just see that short buy, then we get ourselves from there. So I hope that is clear for USD CAD. Next up, let's look at gold. All right, XAU, USD, XAU, tongue twister. All right, don't mind me. All right, XAU, USD. All right, so previously we were expecting that gold might, all right, break above this trend line that we saw here, and then we would have seen gold continuing bullish. All right, but we've seen that that trend line has so far held up itself. All right, we're able to get a break and retest. All right, this is on daily anyway. On the lower time frames, you would see break and retest of the lower trend line around here, and then we can see that gold has been selling off since that time. We can see that sell off has been going on since that time. All right, so you can see that we've marked out a fair value gap around here, where we are still getting price looking. All right, price is still going deep into that fair value gap. All right, so my bias for gold would be bearish. All right, would be bearish. But I want to look out for zones where we will be able to get proper reactions from. All right, so first off, I want to see this. I want to, just idealistically speaking now, all right, or from an ideal point rather, I would love to see price clear out all the liquidity that would be inside this fair value gap, come down into this very little zone. All right, so this is on the daily anyway. There's very little order block before we get to see a buy from there. All right, so just for this week, I want to see more or less a sell to buy on gold. All right, a sell to buy on gold. All right, I'm already on a longer time frame. I'm expecting to just see a sell to buy. So yeah, a sell to buy to sell. So we're also us getting another retest of this trend line, a more proper, as it were, retest of this trend line. So I said trend line of this support, this previous support here. This is 1886.54. All right, so this support that was a previous resistance. All right, 1886.54. So we'll get a retest from there to continue. But that's, as I said earlier, it's more or less on a longer scale. All right, on a higher scale. All right, so just for the earlier for this week. All right, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. All right, we might just get to see a sell to buy on gold, a sell to buy on gold. All right. Let me just recap on gold once more. I'm expecting that we'll see price coming to fill up this FVG, take out liquidity from the FVG, step a bit into this zone, all right, which is between sorry, let me check the coordinates for that. That is between 1824.94 and 1809.34. All right, so we get to see price get into there, then we get to see that rejection towards the upside. So a sell to buy is what we are looking at on gold. The buy is not a long buy anyway, it's just a short buy on gold. All right, so I hope that is clear. All right, so we've done GBP USD, JPY USD card, and gold. All right, let's look at AUD USD. All right, we'll look at AUD USD, then we'll do Euro USD. All right, so for AUD USD played out quite well for us during the course of this week. We're expecting a sell to buy, and we got to see that happen quite well on AUD USD. We got to see that sell to buy during the course of last week. All right, so let me delete this. All right, so currently we are seeing that sell happening from here. All right, we're seeing that sell happening from here. Now, just as I said for AXY, we've not actually been able to get price coming to break out below, from this resistance around, in this case, it's around 0.65222. All right, we've actually not seen price breaking below that resistance rather. All right, and then probably taking out equal liquidity and then coming into this zone. But again, I would love to watch out for what would happen during the course of this week. If we do get to see this zone, this current zone for the reaction, we get to see it holding up some more, then we'll be expecting that price will just keep falling from there. All right, something like this. All right, so we'll just get to see price to keep falling from there. However, if we get to see a break of that resistance, then very much so we might have something like this happening, and then we get to see our sell-off. So I'll be watchful currently. Really, I'll have to be a bit more watchful during the course of this week. Oh, all right, I'm seeing something here. Give me a minute, please. Does it look funny moros? No, this is not looking funny moros to me. All right, so for those of you who don't know the meaning of funny moros, I don't know how to explain it to you really. It's something I grew up with. I don't know how to explain it really. But yes, it's not looking funny moros to me. So those of you or those of us rather who grew up with it, you know, you guys are the real OGs. All right, so that being said, I would just love to see, or my bias on AUD USD will be overall bearish, right? Overall bearish. So I'll love to see what would happen if we do get to see a break below this low. All right, that looks good enough. Let's just use that. So this is 0.63352. We get to see price breaking below that low, then definitely we are just going to continue towards the downside. However, if we get to see a rejection, all right, during the course of this week, let's say from around let's fib this. All right, let's use our fib on this quickly. Give me a minute, please. Yeah, so we get to see a reaction around here. All right, and then something that will give us that sort of rejection. Then yes, we should just be expecting something more like this. I think I've I've already scattered that part. So let me just redraw this a bit. Sorry. So something like this. Yeah. All right. So let's go with this. Let's go with it. So overall bearish, but although this is something closer to a sell to buy to continue with this sell. All right, during the course of this week. So if at all we do not get that buy, right, as I said earlier, if we do not get that buy, then it's very likely we'll just have price continuing towards the downside. However, if we see that the momentum that we get from that buy is strong enough, then we might get to see a break below, or sorry, a break above this resistance, then into this other block around here before we get to see the continuation for our sell. All right, and that is my bias. All right, or my yes, that's my bias for AUD USD overall. Bearish, all right, but I'll be expecting something like a buy to sell, all right, from one of those zones that I have shown us. Next up, let's look into Euro USD. Just remembering that we've not done that, and that's like one of the most, popular currency pair. So Euro USD quickly. So we've seen, as I said last week, right, we've been in a descending channel for a while. Price has been bearish, right? Just kept falling. We've seen that there was this support around here, which has now turned to resistance, where we have gotten we've gotten some fair bit of reaction from already. All right. I think this was something I was looking out for on GBP USD. Also, I was expecting price, to do something like this into the zone before we get to see that sell off, but we've not gotten, or we didn't get that during the week. All right. So I just want to watch out for what we would have in this case. All right, so overall, I'll still be bearish on Euro USD, but I would love to see probably a short sell to buy, all right, before we continue that sell on Euro USD. Now, just to be careful, all right, if we do get to see price breaking below, if we get to see price breaking below this point. What am I saying below? If we get to see price breaking above this point, rather, all right, then we might get to see price, just as I said for GBP, we might get to see price coming into this previous zone that we marked earlier, and then we get to see price fall. All right, so this line is around 1.06368. All right, 1.06368. So if we get to see price breaking below, above that, what am I saying below again? If we get to see price breaking above that line there, then very much so we should just be expecting price to just get up into the zone, and then we get to see our sell. In any case, my bias for Euro USD would be for a buy to sell, so a more or less a buy to sell. All right, so let me delete this. All right, so I think personally I also want to go with this. All right, because this is more this looks more ideal. All right, but I also want to go more or less with this. This looks more ideal. So rather rejection. So can you see just short, maybe price just buying just a little bit into this zone, all right, and then we get to see that continuation for the sell. Overall, our bias on Euro USD is bearish. All right. Lastly, for tonight, we'll be looking at USD JPY, which has fairly been straightforward. All right. In fact, sometimes I'll feel like, can't I just enter buy and just leave it? But you do not necessarily have an account with unlimited equity, all right, so you don't want to just trade haphazardly without practicing proper risk management. All right, so that being said, all right, my bias on USD JPY has been bullish for the past couple of weeks. Has been bullish for the past couple of weeks, and we've still been seeing that, or we're still seeing that happen quite well. All right, this zone, however, has not been met. So the zone that we're talking about in our last market review, I think this was marked out on the 4-hour time frame. Yes. Am I correct? Yes, this was a zone that was marked out on the 4-hour time frame. And again, this zone is between 152.048 and 150.781. All right, so I'll be expecting price to just go up into this, and I'll still be expecting USD JPY to be bullish. All right, so just a buy into that zone, and then when we get into that zone, I'd love to see possible rejections for us to get sells off of that from that zone. Though the sells might not necessarily be this long, so well, I should just reduce this. So something closer to this, all right? So a buy to sell on USD JPY, all right? That will be and that will depend on the amount of or the length of the moves that we get to see during the course of the week on USD JPY. All right, so thank you very much for joining us for tonight's market review. I'm sure you've been able to gain value, and I'm very sure that you are going to have a very, very profitable week. All right, please know that you should not just be as much as possible be a reactive trader. All right, don't just assume that price is going to react from your zones. All right, make sure you get your proper entry criteria, your proper entry confirmations before entering any trade. All right, as I said earlier, I'm very, very sure that this week is going to be a profitable week for us. All right, so please do like this video, share to your friends, comment, in fact, follow. What else again? Subscribe, which one again? Every single thing that you can do. All right, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.